Hey, kia ora mai tātou te whānau. Welcome back to Kai Takimara Kai Backyard Gardens here in Kaikohe and Mātua Block in Kirikiri. We have been disrupted by a manu that's been flying around, and I've just done a little 2-minute video, so I'll put that up, whether it's a short or whatever. But so what have I been doing in my garden today? Well, whether it's seedlings or shoots like tupu or brown potatoes, what I try to do is I try to plant them as close as Akaunui as possible, as the full moon. And so the last couple of days, you've seen that if you look at the moon, it's nice and bright. And so I'm doing that. And today what I'm doing is planting my potatoes beside my tāpapa down here, and I'll flick around in a minute. But I just want to give you a bit of an idea of what I do here, and just some Māori kupu that I've come across and I use to both measurements and what I've done. So first one, measurements. Kōnui, so my thumb. Kōnui, ringa ringa, so from the end of my fingers to the end there, or widthwise. And tuke, T-U-K-E, from the end of my fingers to my elbow is kind of like that spread. And so depending on what I'm planting, I might keep those apart, or they might be just my ringa ringa, or in most cases when I come to planting, I'm using my kōnui, shove it down, we'll push it down into the soil, and then I bring the soil around the plant. So those are my measurements, just some kōnui, ringa ringa, tuke. And so I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'll flick this around and then I'll just show you what I'm doing on this front. Kapai? Okay. Yeah, welcome back. So as the previous videos, I've been doing preparation, and in the autumn period I planted out those brassicas there, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, for my winter harvest. So they'll be coming in and harvesting in my winter. You'll see a couple of videos back, I harvested my last year's tāpapa, my kumara, which now just yesterday I replanted, I prepared and replanted my kumara. And inside here, inside my tāpapa, I've got my kumara planted, and the idea being is they'll bring shoots up, my tupu, and eventually once those become around about my ringa ringa size and length, I'll then harvest, I'll pull them off, and if they don't have roots on them, I'll put them in the buckets of water. And so I did mention yesterday that I was going to do some potatoes along here. So I've got some potatoes. These are swift potatoes, so they harvest between 60 and 70 days. So pretty much from Rākaunui, or today I'll count out 60 days, but I'll actually do 70 days, and they'll be ready to harvest. And so what I'm going to be doing is that all the way through August, I'm going to start planting my potatoes, so that near towards summertime I have all these potatoes ready to eat. And on the 25th of August there's potatoes that go for about 100 days, and they will then be ready at Christmas time, and so they'll be my Christmas kai. So that's the kind of planning and time frames that I do. I tend to do it. So just some other names here. So alongside kōnui, tuke and ringa ringa for my measurements. So my potato, kōnui, is the depth, as we have an awa down here, and I've prepped that one already. So I've just used the rake, pulled back the awa, and inside of that, as I plant my riwai, is I've put blood and bone. Now again, if you go back over the videos that I've already done over the last 3 to 4 weeks, you would have seen what I've done to prepare this. And so for a couple of weeks it was just dormant. After I harvested, weeded, and put in blood and bone, a bit of lime, bit of worm castings, and so I let that sit a bit, allow the fungi, the worms and the microorganisms in the soil to eat all that up, and could kind of feed them a bit. So effectively all I'm going to be doing now is, because I have 14 potatoes, these leeway, I'll be planting them that way up. Now if I've got some in the storage, if there are more of these shoots coming through, these tupu coming through here, I could have cut those, because there's one there, there's another one there. I could have cut that in half, and then they become more potatoes. But I'll be planting those up. The idea being is that these seeds, potato seeds, sit in the soil and grow up. So I've got 7. So I'm going to lay 7 out, and I got the feeling it's going to be probably hāwhi tuke, that elbow to the end of fingertip, which is the tuke level. There'll probably be half of that to fit the 7 in, and so I'll do 7. And I hope I'll separate them. And then all I'll do is I'll make a little puke, little mountain, over the top of the potatoes, and then once the shoots come through, I will actually probably put down bark, as you see in there, and allow the mound and the potatoes to grow inside the mounds, and we'll build that up. But you'll see the progression of that once I've planted out here. This butter is all ready to go, and pretty much I'll let the potatoes grow, and I'll let the kumbara grow, produce some shoots. So I'll be doing that now. So just do a quick pan around of what I've been doing. Got some spring onions, and so I've put some spring onions there, pak choy. What else have I got? Spring onions in there. I've also got some silver beet that I've planted in here. Silver beet, spring onions, so this is going to be my main spring onions component. I had my tomatoes here last year, but this year I'm going to grow my tomatoes in that. And so I've got seedlings for tomatoes in my mara. I'll put some more spring onions down in there. If I pulled out something, I'll put spring onions in there. And so what I'm just trying to do is spread out my spring onions, because they leave this lovely fragrance. So good for the garden, and attracts particular bees or other good insects into the garden. So I've got spinach, which is over on that butt over there. I've got silver beet, I've got cabbage pak choy, so that is at the end of this garden over here, and then we've got celery just in here. So what I'm doing is I'm filling gaps, so just like we're over here, you'll see as the vegetables grow, I'll fill in the gaps. I'll put some spring onions over there, put some spring onions in here, over there, which means I can actually pick some of this, give it away, or eat ourselves. So that's pretty cool. So we'll just so that garden's done. That one's ready. Oh, well, this one's growing. These will be harvested in another month's time. These were done earlier, so we've already been eating out of here. So now I'm just slowly refilling these up. I did a bit of a cutting, harvested some of my broccoli off there, and I'll grow some more. Some are left to seeds. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Alright, okay. I'll show you soon what we're doing with our awa. E rua ngā awa mo ngā riwai. I will then mix in the front bone over there, and then I'll lay out my potatoes and I'll come back. Okay, hei kona, see you soon.